sin was, he knows Jesus Christ died for sin, goes through all that. We talk a little bit, he changes the subject. We talk a little more next night. He's asking for about a month. He's asking some questions, and we're answering them, but then he changes the subject, and we just move on, not pressure. And after church on Sunday night, as my wife stuff came in, he starts asking some more questions. She calls me in there, slipped in a lot of those areas. My wife is taking up the slack and some of that at times, and that's not her job. I'm thankful that she's done it, but that's my job, and I'm the one that's responsible for my family. And men, I read a book a few years ago, and it's either, I think it's Point Man. That's it? Yeah, Steve Farrar, Point Man. And the thing that I got out of that book was, out of the whole thing, this is a good one, the thing I got was that a father will influence generations of his family. Generations. When we're dead and gone, our descendants are going to be influenced by us. And it's the example that we set. It's a worldly example, it's a godly example. And that's powerful stuff. Now, you think about it. I mean, what we do here, you know, the things here are temporary. They're not going to last. I was thinking about as I was driving over, thought about when we won the state championship in Athens in '06. We won 3 national championships when I was playing. It was pretty awesome. As soon as the game's over, you think about next year. We won the thing in '06 at Athens, Legion Field, 10-7. They missed the field goal at the end of the game. We win it. Everybody goes nuts. By the time the game's over, we're on the bus pulling out the parking lot at Legion Field. I promise you, here's what we're talking about. All right, we're losing our left tackle. Who's going to take this spot? We ain't got out the parking lot, and we're talking about next year, because that stuff doesn't last. Yeah, the only thing that's going to fill it is God. Everything else gets in there and pours on out, but that's going to be there. Okay, that's what's going to be there, and that's what's going to last. But the things that we do here, although we're not going to take any of that with us. Okay, I got all these national championship rings, state championship ring, got a conference championship ring coming next week. I hope our players hope more because they don't have any, and they're really wanting a ring. They're coming back, when's that ring coming in? And that's the only ring I wear because those others really don't matter. But all that stuff's kind of nice and it's good, but we need to be pouring into godly things. It's not baseball, football, basketball. Those can be tools in which to do it. And that guy right there, Matt Stockman, uses that better than anybody I know to be able to pour into lives. But that's what it's about, godly things. And just think about it. When you're dead and gone, it's not going to be the football. It's not going to be the basketball. It's not going to be the job. It's not going to be any of that stuff. Your family's going to be influenced for generations and generations. The godly man will have. Somebody's going to have to turn it. And the good news is, if you come from a family that didn't have that, and I know a bunch of them that didn't have that, somebody's got to stop it. Somebody's got to be the guy to stop it and turn it in the right direction. And that's the challenge. That's the challenge. If you had a godly example, then keep that going. If you didn't, you be the guy to draw the line in the sand and say, no more. That's not going to be it. Okay? So, hope I didn't ramble too much. Hope I didn't go too long. But as it came over this morning, I was thinking about a lot of these things, and I had a little different deal I was going to talk about. But as I walked through the door, and a real man loves the Lord. A real man loves his wife. He loves his children. He loves others. It's not about going out there and doing what the world thinks a man does. But what the world thinks a man does is cowardly. It don't take any guts to do that stuff. It takes guts to be a real man. And the challenge today for all of us to be real men and to change our family, change the terms of change the church, our community, and then it goes even further. So let me pray and then turn it back over to Rick. I thank you. Father, I just thank you for this opportunity to give me this morning. Thank you for these men that came out early on Saturday morning to fellowship together. And that's so important for men to get together. And iron sharpens iron. And Father, I pray that we will sharpen each other, that we will challenge each other, that we'll be accountable to each other, Lord. And that we'll be the men that you call us to be. That we'll be strong men. We won't be cowardly and we won't be spineless, but we'll stand for what is right in a world that is so wrong. Pray that we'll be a light in the darkness. Yeah, thank you so much for these men. Thank you for this church. I just pray that you will bless this church and that the men in it help them to lead it in the way that you would have them to. Your name, yeah.
Cody, thank you. What a challenge for us as men. What is your legacy? What's eternal? And I think today we got a taste of what we need to be doing as men. So, again, I want to thank each of you for being out here today. What a great way to start your weekend and to carry it forth into Sunday. Thank you again for being here. We're dismissed. Thank you.
The legend himself, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about Cody Gross, speaking here at Emmanuel Baptist Church to a men's group on this Saturday morning. Cody, you do a lot of speeches like this. Why is it? What message are you trying to get across?
Well, anytime I get a chance to speak for the Lord, that's what I want to do. And years ago, I got more opportunities. You know, now I'm old. Nobody remembers me.
Old. Old's when your hair turns white like this right here. This is old.
The further I get from my playing days, the less opportunities I get. But I remember my uncle telling me, who was a preacher, telling me years ago. I told him, I said, I'm getting worn out. I'm going every night speaking somewhere. And he said, you got a small window of opportunity. He said, you need to use it. And I did. But every once in a while I get an opportunity like this to come out and share. And speaking to men's important because you know, we need more godly men. We need men to do what God's called us to do.
I agree 100%. They miss you down at Lindsay Lane. We're new members down there, about 7 months now, so they talk about you're a legend down there too. Let's talk a little football. What can we, offense coordinator at UNA, Bobby Water still coaching?
He is. He's still there.
It's a long way from you won those 3 national championships, but it looks like y'all getting back in that groove again over there.
Well, we hope so. We hope we are. Coach Wallace is just he's awesome. I mean, you know, he just has a way of bringing guys together and getting guys to play hard. And you know, last year we got beat by 3 in the quarterfinals, and you know, if we had about another minute, I think we win it, and then we wind up having a shot to win the national championship.
Now, is this a down period for you now to football season start?
It is, thankfully. Well, I say it's down. Football is probably the most down time. I got 3 boys.
Yeah.
They all play all sports. So right now, we got 4 baseball games today. I got to be in Russell in an hour. We got 4 baseball games. We got a baseball practice.
You better get going if you're gonna make it in an hour.
But I get to coach them in basketball. I get to coach my boys in baseball, and then do all those things.
If somebody's watching this morning and they're not saved, what message have you got to give to them?
Well, the best decision you can ever make is to serve Jesus Christ. Everybody's faced with a decision. What are you going to do with Jesus? I mean, we're either going to accept him or we're going to reject him. And when it's all said and done, every knee will bow. Every tongue is going to confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And doing it on this earth is going to be a whole lot better.
Right. If you read one book this summer, let me recommend one to you.
Okay.
The Loser Wins Again, Dusty McLemore. You need to get that. Gambling and eternity.
Well, I saw on Twitter that Dusty had a book, and I tell you, I miss Brother Dusty. He's as good as they get.
Good to see you, Cody.